Every Sunday in America, churches donate thousands of dollars to help those in need. Cheerful givers donate with a grateful heart, knowing that these funds are going to help those in poverty, sickness, refugee camps, and natural disaster recovery areas all over the world. But what if the need was closer than we thought? What if there was someone in desperate need right now in our own town, neighborhood, or even street? CarePortal was created to provide local government offices with a direct connection to a network of churches that can help meet an immediate need within the community. So far, the program has been a heartfelt success. Here are just some examples of what God has done in Fairfield County this past year.
It does seem so odd that we're not even at a year and there's been so many amazing things that have happened during that time, but I guess there are two that I'd like to touch on. One of them is a story of a woman who had several children already, was pregnant and expecting another with her husband, and she had a massive heart attack. And as a result of the heart attack, her baby was born prematurely and had significant special needs. Ultimately, mom was released from the hospital as a cardiac patient, right, and needing to do all of the things that post-heart attack people need to do. But she was pretty disabled with it. It had really laid her pretty low physically. In addition to that, the baby was coming out with apnea monitors and oxygen and all those kinds of things. The dad, because of caring for their children, because of making the trips to two different hospitals, one where the mom was and one where the baby was, got behind on bills, and they'd been paying a little bit towards their utility bill, but had fallen significantly behind. A doctor had written a note saying that it was medically necessary that the electric not be turned off because of the baby, but that was only giving them one medical extension. They needed to pay a certain balance in order to not have it shut off. And so I made the request for that here to CarePortal, and CarePortal met that request. This is a story that really resonates with anybody in our congregations. I'm sure that all of us know folks who have struggled because one thing went wrong, and then that one thing turned into dominoes, and the further you go, the more behind you get. And that was a family whose homelessness was prevented, whose illness. I mean, now I've heard, the dad is like starting to get back to work. This is a family who wanted to take care of their own, who were doing all of the right things, and CarePortal has helped them continue on that path. I think the other story that I want to share is the most recent one, and that is about a 16-year-old boy who, because of early childhood neglect, his teeth were in horrible shape, and they were in such bad shape that as a 16-year-old boy, the dentist made a decision to pull all of his teeth and give him dentures. The medical card wouldn't pay for the dentures because they said it was cosmetic. And talk about something that hit me, as a parent of now, older kids. You know how hard it is to be an adolescent in school, and you know what the struggles are for those kids just in general, just as being an adolescent. And the provider said, look, I'm not gonna make these dentures unless you're gonna pay for them. And so I sent that request out, and one of the things that was most moving to me is that Janelle from Pickerington Naz texted back to me right away, and she said, you won't believe this, but a young lady in the youth group, I think, heard about the story and said, I'm gonna donate some money for this. And that to me is like, wow, the power of CarePortal, that it's one youth helping another youth that she's never met, she knows nothing about, but she could identify with why that was so important for this kid. That got the ball rolling, and just tonight I was able to close that request, that need is being met. And it's $450, it's not a huge need, but it is a tremendous need for that kid's social, behavioral, and emotional well-being. And I just can't wait to tell the caseworker tomorrow when I go into work that it's happening for him. Well, I think from my perspective, we're not asking the churches to do our job. We're not asking you to investigate or assess child abuse or neglect, and we're not asking for you to make choices about who you're helping or who you're not. We're kind of doing all of that work up front for you. And then at that point, it's the church's opportunity to prayerfully consider these requests and to meet the need as they feel called to meet the need. And for me, it's not about government or church. It's about people coming together to help people in the best and the most effective way that we can, and in a way that's transparent and meaningful. And I just don't know that it gets better than that for any of us. I think that CarePortal is an amazing way to allow churches and the Public Child Welfare Agency and your community, right where you live, to come together to meet the needs of those around us.